YouTube back again with another video. The Dividend Stock King here, and today we're talking about mindsets. A mindset of an investor, really of a dividend investor. Kind of the mindset of an investor who does growth. My mindset on income. Okay, my goal is income. And again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not getting financial advice, but everyone's goal should be income first because you can use the income to do what? To pay bills, right? So I'm an income investor. I'm a dividend investor. If I was in real estate and had rental property, it'd be the same thing. Uh it would be to get income, right? It would be to get income. So that's my thing, right? Income. My thing to get income. Um, I would rent. I would rent properties out for income. I don't want to flip and sell. I want the passive income, right? And when you start now, look, there's two parts to this video. First part, real quick. My last video talked about the two better things with my money and how your mindset should change when you start getting dividend income. Your mindset will change. Can I pay down my bad debt while I was investing? I don't believe in you should pay all of your debt off first, then have an emergency fund, then invest. I don't believe in that. I believe you walk into bubblegum at the same time. I believe you could do both. I believe you could pay down debt and invest as well, right? I'm a believer in that. The reason I say invest, why you're paying off debt, because again, if you catch the market while it's down, you can um, you can get cheaper stocks, right? You don't want to really invest when the market's super high up. You want to invest when it's down, right? So that's my whole thing. You want to invest while the market is down to get cheaper shares. And also with today's technology, when you buy a dividend stock, right? When you buy a stock that pays you income every week or every month, when you get that dividend, if you turn on drip and take that money to give you, so you get $100 and you reinvest that money, you get more shares and compound by itself. The compounding effect, right? And lastly, you ask any dividend investor or any investor in the stock market who buys stocks or buy dividends, what's your best advice or what's your biggest regret? Those pretty much will say, not all, but most will say, I wish I would have started sooner. I feel the same way. If I start was 18 years old, throwing in, you know, a $20, $30 every time I get paid, I probably had $100,000 portfolio right now. This portfolio probably over $100,000 right now. $100,000 easy, easy $100,000. When the markets tank and when COVID hit, I would have bought way more. I know how to market. I could have sold stuff and bought way more. So I'm on that mindset of that. So the mindset, your mindset will gradually change. And here's why I say that. When you start seeing this, when you start seeing Alti pay me over $1,000 in July, Alti paid me $978 in June. It paid me $1,000 in May. When you start seeing these numbers come in, and you seeing that so far it paid me $586 in income, when you start seeing that, you should start seeing money a little different. You should be, you know what? I'm not gonna blow my money in the casino. I'm not gonna blow money on all these high dollar shoes. I'm not gonna put rims on cars. I seen guys where I live at had these huge rims on cars. They probably cost 8, 9 grand. Or they bought liabilities. I mean, they jacked the car up. They had tinted windows, a loud system, big rims. I'm not against that stuff. I'm really not. Okay, but I'm not against that. If I were to do that, which I'm not, but if I were to do something like that, I'd use my dividend income for that. I wouldn't take my active income and buy liabilities. I'm just gonna buy liabilities. I'm not. I will buy passive income. Then a passive income buy those rims. That's the difference between people who have money and the people who don't have money. That's a smart way of doing it. That's a smart way of doing it. Instead of throwing $8,000 or it was a lot of money. I mean, you talk about the huge 24-inch rims, windows tinted, loud music, lights under the car. I mean, how much that cost? Rims cost what, $5,000? You probably spend 10K. You could do 10K into ULTY and let that, you could got a payment plan for all that stuff and let ULTY pay for that instead of you're paying for it. That's what rich, smart people do. They live off the asset income. They don't have active income. They don't go work a job. They have their assets paying them money and they use that money. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? So your mindset will change. You're not going to buy, you can still buy things that you want. I'm not saying don't, but some things you're just not going to spend a lot of money on. If your job have a cafeteria, and you're always buying breakfast and lunch there. You spend $10 on breakfast. You spend $15 on lunch. You do that Monday and Wednesday. You spend $50 that month. Well, you could do $50 on ULTY. You done money on ULTY. So again, you could borrow ULTY. ULTY is $5.90. You could do $50 on ULTY. You could have ate from home or skip breakfast. Pack you 2 sandwiches, a bag of chips for lunch, save that money, and you can fill the money on ULTY. And then once ULTY pays you, they pay me what, $288. You can use ULTY income to buy lunch for work. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta think. You gotta use your mind and think on certain stuff like, is this a good idea? Is that a good idea? It probably isn't a good idea. Use your income. Use your passive income. Now, the best thing to do with money is to reinvest. But if you can't reinvest, at least use the income to buy stuff. Again, cafeteria food, buying lunch is a small thing. But if you think about it, I mean, you have $50 you could do on ULTY if you save the money. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going out to a fancy restaurant and spending, a couple $100, let's go to a cheaper one. Let's go to a happy hour one with apps are half off. Save that little bit of money. Use the Upside app for gas. What I use, I got video on that as well, that I made, $40 in just pumping gas. I threw that. I didn't go out there and tell $40 and buy some dumb with it. I put in ULTY. It's free money. So you will start to change your mindset. You will start to look at things different. You look at your friends and family, and you bought that, you spent $15,000 on that. When you do $15,000 in ULTY, and that got you, 2,500 shares, and at 10 cents a share, it would pay you $250 a week. Your mind will change like that. Your mind will change like that quick. And now I'm to the point where instead of buying stuff for $15,000, take a loan $15,000, why not put $15,000 into ULTY? I'm not giving financial advice. $15,000 will get you, I believe, 2,500 shares. It pays every week. It pays 10 cents. You make $250 a week. In a month, you make $1,000. So if you're paying $350, $400 a month, ULTY pays it with extra money on the side. That's thinking. That's changing your mindset. You change your mindset. It's a slow change. But when you start seeing this money come in, and when you start seeing $3,000 and $2,900 and $3,900, your mind will change on what you need to do. Your mind will change. You know what? Instead of buying this junk, buy all the junk food, I'm gonna stop buying all this, buying cigarettes and lottery tickets and stuff, or gambling, or buying all this alcohol, or buying bad stuff, or blowing money in a casino, buying Chick-fil-A all the time, buying all the kids out. You buying food out 3-4 times a week. I'd rather not, and just do it this way. So that's the mindset of an investor. Your mind will slowly change because you want to make more income and more income. And the only way to make more income is to buy more shares and to reinvest the dividend. If you're not buying more shares, you're staying stagnant. You're not making as much. Can you imagine somebody making with 100 shares of UOT, 1,000 shares of UOTY, 10 cents, you make $100. That's $400 a month. That's pretty good money. That's not bad either. But imagine if you had 5,000 shares of UOTY. Now you would change the game a lot. You make $500 a week. So, because 10,000 shares give you $1,000 a week. My goal with UOTY is to get 10,000 shares. I get paid $1,000 or $900 a week every single week. That is freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. That's awesome. It pays all the bills. I ain't got to worry about bills. I ain't worried about it. I got money coming in on Friday. I love it. So that's the end of the video. Investing, dividend investing should change your mindset on how you look at money, how you spend money, how you look at money, and all the above. Thank you for watching.